Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm so sorry I couldn't be with you tonight in Chicago, but I feel very honored and privileged to be able to share a few memories of my father. Abba gave me many, many gifts, but one of the greatest gifts he gave me was a zest and a love for travel. And I'm going to share with you tonight an essay that I wrote a few years back. Thank you. When I close my eyes and I think of my father, our voyages over time are traced as memory lines on the map of life. The many roads and paths navigated, marking our past, leaving open the green fields of the future. I navigate the narrow gullies of Deoband, teeming with colorful life, as he gently pulls my hand. I fly over the golden crimson ravines of the Grand Canyon, as he points out centuries of story held in its shifting striations. I circle round and round, absorbing the cool calmness of the house of God, softly repeating prayers after him. For traveling, as Ibn Battuta shared, it leaves you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller. The story of my father begins with his travel to the New World. It begins with his journey across the oceans of India, past the isles of the United Kingdom, to the rugged eastern shores of America, where I was born. I arrived into this world gifted by my father's love of exploration and sense of wonder. From the time I began to walk, he showed me how to use my feet to run as far as my imagination could reach. My earliest memory of my journeys with Abba as my guide was our cross-country trips in the station wagon. Whenever he got a new teaching post, he made sure the magic of the journey eased our transition to a new destination. We would load up all our belongings, and Ummi, Abba, Khala, and the five of us would pile into our pea-green Buick with the wood trim. We would load up our travel essentials into the main car. There would be a tiffin filled with shami kebabs and paratha, suji ka halwa, and aloo tarkari. We would pack small bags full of our treasures: super balls, spiral notebooks, dolls, and matchbox cars. Abba would fold down the back seat and layer thick blankets and dulais, creating a cozy traveling sanctuary. We would each mark our territory, laying our bags by our heads and arranging our prized possessions. And at the back, trailing behind, a U-Haul was hitched, carrying all that we owned. What I remember most about these travels was the stops, more than the goes, the decelerations, the interludes of motion. I remember the patience and time Abba took to detour and pause along the way. He made sure to take the exit for the scenic overlook so we could catch the sunset, or pull over for the roadside attraction like the giant cowboy boot towering 40 feet into the bright open sky. I remember stopping at the Great Salt Lake, chewing on pink saltwater taffy, while Simi and Rashid walked further and further and further out into the water, amazed by the salty buoyancy keeping them afloat. Rather than panic at the tiny dots disappearing into the distance, he followed them out and encouraged them to explore the marvels of creation. I remember passing the colorful rainbow of neon lights at a local carnival one night, and Abba stopping to take us even though it was really late. I remember the adventures he made sure we experienced that most of my first-generation friends didn't get to explore. Abba taught us how to fish in the rivers of the Mississippi, snaking through the Midwestern states. He taught us how to camp in the peaks and valleys of Yosemite and stay calm even when the shadow of a bear crossed our thin tent. Abba showed us the strength and wisdom of the towering trees in the redwood forests of California and the haunting remains of the petrified forests of Arizona. We marveled at the falls of Niagara together and gasped at the geysers of Old Faithful and Yellowstone as they shot into the air. Our father taught us about the marvels of man through the dizzying heights of the Empire State Building in New York and the mammoth monuments of Mount Rushmore. From state to glorious state, from natural creations to human-made wonders, Abba filled us with a depth and love and admiration for this country that is our home. The genes of my father, the traveler, the storyteller, they course through the highways and byways of my being. From the beautiful and spacious skies of my America to the rich colors and cultures expanding beyond, my Abba's golden footsteps are my beacon. Thank you. What's it called, the poem?
यादों के दीप.
Yado ke Deep. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
वहाँ पर याद के कुछ दीप रोशन छोड़ आए हैं. वो गलियाँ जिनमें आबिद अपना बचपन छोड़ आए हैं. सहम कर रह गई है जिंदगी इन बंद कमरों में. कुशादा था बहुत घर का जो आंगन छोड़ आए हैं. जाने क्यों हमें रह रह के अब तक याद आती है जो सरकंडे की दरवाजे पे चिलमन छोड़ आए हैं. नई दुनिया की आज़ादी में कुछ ठहराव है इनसे. पुरानी वज़ादारी के जो बंधन छोड़ आए हैं.